guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you have never clicked on one of my videos before, hi, I'm Cottage-Sims. How you doing? And today I'm doing something completely out of my comfort zone, because typically when I build a house I usually either use words or I keep the house one shape, so basically a rectangle, which I know essentially this sort of is a rectangle with a little bit added on, but I usually keep them very simple. I don't usually do anything like this, so this was definitely a little bit out of my comfort zone. But the idea for this house was that I wanted it to almost try to blend in with the surrounding foliage and background that's surrounding the lot. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if the house looked like it had been built on and around the already existing landscape? So that's why there are rocks even underneath the house, all the way underneath. Because I could have just done them like around the edge to make it look like it, but no, I wanted it to just cover the entire bottom. Like if I was going to do it, I wasn't going to do it half hogged, you know, go all the way. So the layout is quite simple, but I had so much fun building this house. I really did, because I just let my imagination just go wild, you know. And like the stairs, I did actually try to make the stairs match the house, but trying to find a colour that matched the colour scheme I was going for was a little bit difficult, because the reason I go for a grey brick on the house is because I wanted it to try and blend with the rock underneath, if that makes sense. So with the stairs, I wanted the same thing, but obviously I couldn't, because the game is mean like that. It wouldn't let me do it. And oh my goodness, the windows in this house. I do go in and take some of these windows out, okay? And if you notice a change in lighting, it's because I did this in two parts. So the last part you will notice a difference in lighting, and it's where I've gone in and altered those windows, because when I finished this house I thought, oh, it's wonderful, it's great, I love this house. And then I started looking at the windows and thinking, you've gone so over the top with windows. What on earth were you thinking? Like, so I go in, I change the windows. Yeah, I just tweak them a little bit so that it's not so overpowering. And this little corner bit here, I didn't want to overclutter it too much. You know, I wanted it to be, oh, what's the word? Because I didn't want it to be too overcluttered and just really heavy with decor, which normally I love clutter. Normally I love filling a space, you know, but I just wanted to keep it quite, would airy be or roomy? I don't know if that's the right word. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. I wanted to keep it simple, is basically what I'm trying to say. And that little corner there, I do put a desk and some shelves, and I just go clutter crazy in that little corner. It's like my little space where I could just let all my clutter need go, and then the rest of the house is quite flowy, you know, just not overly cluttered. I just kind of pushed everything that I wanted to do for this entire house into that little corner. And yeah, paints and painting, sorry, you know, I did try to think, okay, what kind of paintings would they have in this house, you know, because I kind of imagine that the person living here, they obviously love nature. I mean, why else would they build here on this particular lot? You know, they obviously love the aesthetic of nature, so that's why I decided to go for like green paintings and nature paintings and slightly abstract paintings. I know that doesn't really always coexist, but the colours in the abstract paintings went with the colour scheme that I was going for in the house, you know. And I added big windows because when you see these modern houses that are built in nature somewhere, like somewhere really, really rural, they do tend to have like really big windows. I don't know why. I think it's just a thing. I don't know why. And this fireplace, the reason I put did I put a mirror over the fireplace? Yes. It's because in the UK it's very common for people to have a mirror over their fireplace. I don't know why. It just is. It's just something that we do. It's usually in slightly more posh homes that you see people doing that. Although they do it in the royal family, not the actual royal family. I'm talking about the TV show. They have a mirror over their fireplace, so maybe it's just me. Maybe like my family's just never done that. No, hang on. No, I tell a lie. Yes, we did. We did do it. We did do it. Oh my goodness. Look at me sitting here going, I never did that. Yes, you did, girl. Yes, you did. I think it's just a British thing to have a mirror over your fireplace. This bathroom, I was watching Plumbella, and she said that if you spend loads of time in like designing your bathrooms, you're a freak, because like who's gonna sit there staring at their sim going to the toilet? And she's got a point, you know. I do spend too much time putting like decor and furniture into my toilets when I'm not going to spend that much time like looking at that particular room. So I just kept the bathrooms nice and simple. And this is the clutter area I was telling you about. Oh my goodness, I went clutter mad here. I was just like, you know what? I need to clutter. I need to clutter somewhere. So this is where it's going to be. Right here. And oh my goodness, I had so much fun building this house. I really, really did. Because I just let my imagination go wild, you know. And there are some bits I cut out, because otherwise this video would have been so long. But it was nothing important, nothing that you guys would miss. It was literally me scrolling, searching. Oh, do I want that or do I want this? I'm so indecisive. It's awful. I really, really am. Like, I will literally spend ages going back and forth on stuff until I finally decide, oh no, I'll have that. You know, even though that was the first thing that I originally picked, I have to then go through 5 other things before I then go back to the first thing. But like, nah, actually, you know what, that worked. Honestly, I'm a nightmare to myself sometimes. That's why these builds take me so long, because I faff about, you know, and I am trying to work on that, because editing these videos, it might seem simple, you know, like you build a house, you decorate it, you speed it up, but if I'm watching a YouTube video and my mouse goes too far down, YouTube will pop up. So then I have to edit that out. And it's just little things like that that before I became a YouTuber, I never even thought about when watching like speed builds or YouTube videos. It just never occurred to me that so much editing goes into such a simple video. And the layout for up here, I'm sorry, I'm just going to apologise now. I'm not good with layouts. I'm really not. I struggle with layouts. I really do. House building in general, I tend to struggle with. Like, I thought for the longest time I can't build, because years ago I tried building and it was a box. That was it. That was literally all I could build, was a box. So I assumed that because I couldn't build back then, that my lack of talent had followed me into the following years. It never occurred to me that all those years of watching other people build might have actually given me some ideas and actually had helped me improve. Who knew that watching other people would actually help you improve? Oh, honestly. Okay, so with this downstairs, oh my goodness, why can I not talk? With the downstairs layout, I wanted to keep the dining room and the kitchen separate, but at the same time I wanted that flow of an open floor plan, and that's why I go for arches, because it's just the easiest way to have that flow effect between rooms. And the kitchen, I probably spent so long on this kitchen trying different decor items. Like, did I want to clutter the counters too much? Was I cluttering them too much? And then I'd see like a piece of artwork and I'd be like, oh, can I put that in the house somewhere? And oh my goodness, like, it took me far too long to do this kitchen. It really did. And with the rugs, oh, the rugs. Now, even though they're in different rooms, I couldn't bring myself to have rugs that were so different that they would clash. Even though they're in different rooms, they had to flow. The colours had to go in some way, shape or form. They had to coexist, which I know probably sounds absolutely insane, but I have little OCDs like that. You know, it just, I can't do it. So that's why I think I end up going for the same rug out here as I do in the living room, just a different colour, because I needed that coexistence with the rugs. I had to have it. I know, sounds a little crazy, but oh, and I love that painting with the trees and the leaves. You know, I like using paintings and things like that just to add a little splash of colour in this house. Because the walls are so pale and the floors are so pale, you know, I wanted to add little bits of colour in little areas. So like with the rugs and the paintings, you know, I didn't want it to be just really colourful everywhere, you know, because then you lose the effect of that subtleness. You get what I mean? And the dining room and the bathroom is probably the simplest rooms in the house. This little corner right here, oh my goodness. I went back and forth on what I wanted to do with that. Is it a china cabinet? Oh, I had to edit that out. 10 minutes of me faffing about, oh my goodness. And the flowers. Oh, I love these flowers. I don't use them enough, I really don't. And I will say, it was a little bit repetitive with the rocks, but it didn't take me that long. This house will obviously be up on the gallery if you guys are interested, under cottage_1_sims. Oh, that is a slight mouthful, but unfortunately someone else has taken just Cottage-Sims, so I had to do that. The hook, or the landing. I always struggle with landings, you know, because it's like, do I put something out here that then who's gonna have stuff on their landing? Like, what? No, just keep it simple. Don't overdo it. You've got the bedrooms for that. And as I said, I'm not good with layouts. So the layout here, I was looking at these rooms thinking, they're huge. They're too big. How do I make this a big family home? And I will admit, the biggest room is too big. It really, really is. And I can't remember if I go in a bathroom. I can't remember. But because they didn't have a back garden, because obviously the rocks, I thought, give them a balcony. You know, give them somewhere where they can sit and they can talk, they could have like a little barbecue, you know, just somewhere nice for them to go, you know, so that way you can still have like a little barbecue party if you wanted to, you know, you still got somewhere to go outside. Because when I built this house, I didn't actually think, where am I going to put the garden? I didn't think that. And obviously there is nowhere for me to put swings or slides or anything like that. So I don't know if you guys would be able to think of somewhere to put them, but this house has, I think I did a toddler room, a children's room, and an adult's room. So I kind of thought, you know, the person who lives here, you know, like I said, they obviously love nature. So, what is it called? Ben Fogel Into the Wild? I think that's what it's called. He visits people that have basically said no to traditional houses, traditional ways of life, and they've basically gone off grid. They've built a house somewhere, they're living off the land, you know, and they've got animals, or they've got solar panels on their house, you know, and they're just being really eco-friendly, and they don't have to worry about day-to-day things that we worry about, you know, like rent, big bills that just weigh over you sometimes. And that's kind of what this house reminds me of, you know. It's maybe the parents have decided, you know what, we're done with like the city living, we're done with like the traditional houses that people live in. We want somewhere rural. We want to do something a little bit different, you know. So that's why they've built their house on a lot filled with boulders. That's what I kind of imagine for this family, is that they may be a little bit different, a little bit alternative, you know, and they just wanted something different for their kids, you know. And as you can see, this is the boys' room. I did go back and forth on like how many beds do I put into this room, because I could fit, as you can see, multiple bunk beds, but I have this thing where each sim needs to have their own dresser. I know that is insane. I know that's a little bit on the crazy side, okay? But the way my head works is I like to play my game as realistic as possible. That's just how I love to play my game. Obviously sometimes that's not possible, you know, like with the A to Z baby challenge. You have to step out of reality just a little bit. But most of the time I do try to play realistic. And realistically, you would have your own dresser, you know? You would, because you need somewhere to put your clothes. I know Sims don't actually have clothes to put anywhere. I promise I'm not crazy. Alright, it's just one of my little quirks that I have, okay? And as you can see, this is the parents' room. And because it's so big, I'm like, what do I put in here? And it was really late when I was recording this. I don't even know what the time was. I know it was late. I'd been doing this build for, oh my goodness, probably coming on 3 hours. And so when you stared at a computer screen for 3 hours straight and you're thinking, okay, what do I put down? What do I put in the room? For some reason, it never occurred to me you could shrink the room by adding a bathroom, like an ensuite for the parents. It never occurred to me. Never did. And I can't remember if I go back in and add one. And I'm just going through now, adding little bits to the rooms. I think this is the second part that I recorded. Yeah, I think it is. And as you can see, I'm trying to think, what do I put out here? You know, because I'm so limited on space, I don't know what to do. And I have put this house from my library into another lot. There we go. There's the shifting colour. This is the second part, sorry. And oh, it needed to be done. It did. Those windows needed to go. They really did. I don't know why I went for green for the parents' room. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna sit up here and pretend that I know why. I think it's because I wanted to go for something. So I think I put like a couple of windows back, but not many. Okay, so we are actually coming up to the end of this video. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, drop a comment downstairs. I hope you guys have a very spooky but safe Halloween or Samhain, and I will see you guys in my very next video. Bye!